Welcome to the OutSystems Overview section. In this section, we'd like to cover a number of topics, including answering the questions, what is OutSystems, and what are the components and tools that OutSystems provides? This would include the core OutSystems Server, our development tools, some administration and operations tools, as well as resources that are available from the community. So let's go ahead and get started. The goal of OutSystems is to enable and accelerate the development and delivery of enterprise web and mobile applications. It does this by providing a low-code development environment that generates code and can deploy it to an enterprise-grade full-stack system. This system can be integrated with other systems and your existing code, and has built-in management and analytics capabilities in the server. These are the types of features that help make OutSystems the #1 low-code development platform. And this just isn't our opinion, it's also the opinion of various analysts. Forrester did a wave of mobile development for low-code systems in the first quarter, and OutSystems was included in the leaders wave of the analysis. In the second quarter of 2017, Gartner did their MADP Magic Quadrant, MADP standing for the Mobile Application Development Platforms. And again, OutSystems was included in the leaders area. And finally, in the fourth quarter of 2017, Forrester did a wave on low-code development platforms, and again, OutSystems ended up in the leaders wave. OutSystems ends up in the leaders waves because a lot of the great capabilities of the system, there are different types of things that you have as advantages, like the unbeatable speed of the platform, the ability to integrate with anything, and the ease of deploying applications across the environments and gathering all the metrics that will help us understand our applications better. Let's look at some of these capabilities in a little more detail. So the first capability, which is very important, is the ability to integrate existing code and data. So we can use any of our existing applications, existing code, or existing data that might be in external systems, and we have the capability of importing and integrating that information inside of the OutSystems environment. Once those resources are integrated, they can be used inside the visual design and development environment, where we have the capability of looking at different data, business logic, and user interfaces, all inside of a low-code development environment. Each of these low-code areas have their own editors and features, where we can begin editing data, we can begin editing business logic and business processes, and we have a low-code visual way of building the user interface, which gives us a good idea of what it's going to look like once it's created. Once development is complete, we can then publish in a standard and optimized way to the server. And this is done by publishing the description of the application and generating the standard HTML, JavaScript, and .NET code to be able to create the resources necessary to run the web or mobile applications. So then we can take those applications and deploy them across the different environments, from development to QA to production. While those deployments are happening, there are integrity checks to make sure that everything is going to be okay, as far as applications having all the dependencies they need and all the right versions of the code being available. There's also governance applied during this process, so that the different roles that are involved in the process have all the right levels of control and the right levels of access to the resources that are needed. Once the application is fully deployed, the generated code includes monitoring capabilities, so we can get feedback and monitor the applications as they're running to make sure that they're performing the way we expect. Now, all this can be run on servers that either exist in the cloud, exist on-premise, or in a hybrid configuration, so you have the flexibility of deploying these applications and code to whatever type of infrastructure and set of servers that you need to. Once the applications are deployed, OutSystems also provides the capability to let users provide feedback to the development team so that they can suggest any types of changes that might be needed. As the development team reviews those suggestions, they can use the low-code visual environment to make changes and republish the application, allowing for continuous integration and the versions of our applications as changes occur. So given that we have those capabilities, what are the components and tools that give us all of these things? Well, there are a number of OutSystems components and tools that are provided with OutSystems. Let's look at each one in detail. The first of these is the most important, and that is the OutSystems Server. This is the set of servers that compiles, deploys, manages, runs, and monitors the applications. The OutSystems Server can be connected to from Service Studio, which is the development environment for web and mobile applications. Once we connect to the platform server, the applications can be published to the server, and versions of those applications will be stored in the metadata repository. The platform server will then compile and generate those applications and deploy them to standard application servers, so that the application servers can use traditional databases and external systems to go ahead and run those applications. Service Studio acts as a low-code visual development environment to help us rapidly create great mobile and web applications. And as you can see, it may look a little familiar or similar to things that you use like Visual Studio or Eclipse. Now, besides Service Studio, where we build the web and mobile apps, we also have Integration Studio, which is the development environment for integrating the external resources into the OutSystems platform. Integration Studio provides a number of wizards and capabilities to bring in external resources, from things like external tables or views to importing .NET assemblies and turning them into actions inside of OutSystems. So the primary purpose of Integration Studio is to take our existing external resources and create representations of them inside of the OutSystems world. Once these representations exist, we can publish them to the server so that they can be used in Service Studio and appear as if they're normal OutSystems resources. And we won't even be able to tell the difference as to whether they're external or internal resources. So once we have the ability to build the applications that we're interested in, we'd also like to have the ability to manage the server itself. So Service Center is the platform's server management console. Service Center is an administration console, and it's actually built as a web application that's accessible via the browser. And this is a capability that will help us configure the platform and understand what's going on inside of it from an administration and operations standpoint. So inside of this web app, we have the capability of looking at the factory and the apps that are available in the factory. We can monitor the server itself, administering the server, and getting the different types of analytics all inside of the same administration console. Now, besides being able to connect to an individual server, there's also the Lifetime application, which manages the life cycle across different environments. So Lifetime is a web app that extends the Service Center's normal capabilities to be able to see across the different servers in the life cycle of the application. So from the development environments to the QA environments to the integration and production environments, we can track our applications and the versions of those applications that are deployed to each server in our environment. So here we can see all the different components that surround the platform server that enable us to develop our applications and manage them across the environments. But here we're just sort of focusing on a single platform server. When we begin to think about the typical enterprise environment, we'll have a development, QA, and production environment as well. So all of these tools could connect to each of the platform servers, and Lifetime can help us manage the applications across all of these servers. Now we also have the OutSystems Forge, which is a source of downloadable components that can help speed up the application development and delivery. There are a lot of different components available in the Forge, so we can sort them between mobile and web applications, and we can search for any types of components that we're looking for. So besides being able to download open source components, the community also helps us with forums, where we can exchange tips and search for different things we might need help with. So the community can help both beginners and experienced developers as well. So in this session, we tried to look at the different components and tools that OutSystems provides, from the OutSystems Server, to the development tools, to the admin and operations tools, as well as the supporting community that can help us learn and be able to work with all of these tools better. So that's it for this OutSystems Overview session.